The wind over the open lot lifted a fine layer of dust. Genos had stepped inside, his optical sensors fixed on the scene, trying to process every micro-expression, every shift in the posture of the two men about to face off. On one side, his new master Saitama, a man whose strength defied all logic and data analysis. On the other, Goku, a stranger who had displayed technique and speed that surpassed his own without the slightest effort. Saitama remained motionless, wearing his usual bored expression. He hadn't changed his stance or raised his guard. He was simply there, hands in the pockets of his hero suit. Goku smiled. That calm from his opponent was strange. Strong fighters usually gave off pressure, an aura of power you could feel in the air. But absolutely nothing emanated from Saitama. It was like standing before a wall. Even so, the way he had defeated Mosquito Girl proved he was hiding something extraordinary. Goku dropped his shoulders, steadied his breathing, and set his feet. He didn't activate any visible aura, but the atmosphere around him changed. The air grew denser, and an invisible pressure made the small stones on the ground vibrate. From a distance, Genos felt his energy sensors begin to emit a low-level alert. He's releasing energy. It's not heat, not electricity, it's something different. My sensors can't classify it, but the air pressure around him is rising. Come at me with everything you've got. Goku tensed his muscles, ready to launch himself. Silence seized the open ground for a second, an instant suspended in time before the clash. But just as Goku was about to move, a crash shattered the calm. The ground shook violently, and some 20 meters away, the asphalt of a nearby street burst upward. A massive kaijin emerged from the earth, the body of a rhinoceros with an iridescent beetle carapace. It had 4 muscular arms, and its red eyes gleamed with fury. Ha ha ha! Insignificant humans! I, the great rhinoceros beetle, have come to claim this city in the name of the underworld! Tremble before my power! Goku and Saitama turned to look at him at the same time. Their expressions were almost identical, a mix of indifference and mild annoyance at the interruption. Another one? Terrible timing. The kaijin fixed his gaze on them, the only ones who hadn't fled. What are you doing just standing there? Do you not fear me? I'll crush you like insects! The monster lowered his head and charged them, tearing up chunks of earth in his wake. His speed was considerable for his size, and the ground rumbled with every step. It all happened in a blink. Goku vanished from his spot and reappeared to the kaijin's right. At the same time, Saitama moved, becoming a yellow and red blur to the left. Both struck at the same instant. Goku delivered a sharp hand-edge blow to the monster's neck, while Saitama landed a simple punch to its side. There was no big explosion. The great rhinoceros beetle's body simply stopped. His red eyes lost their glow, and a second later, he disintegrated into a rain of green, viscous particles that evaporated before they touched the ground. Silence again. The wind blew over the place where the monsters had been. Goku looked at Saitama, who was already slipping his hand back into his pocket. Hey, that was fast. Huh, you too. Not bad. Genos watched with his jaw slightly ajar. His processors tried to analyze what he had just seen. 2 simultaneous attacks from opposite flanks, each strong enough to disintegrate a demon-level kaijin at the very least. The timing had been perfect, though clearly unplanned. Suddenly, a deep, powerful sound broke the mood. It was Goku's stomach begging for food. Goku put a hand to his stomach with an embarrassed smile. I think all this excitement worked up my appetite. Saitama looked at him and let out a sigh. The tension of the fight had completely dissipated. Let's forget it for now. I know a good udon place. The restaurant was small and modest, with a wooden counter and a pleasant broth aroma. While Saitama ordered a bowl of udon with tempura, Goku recited a list to the cook that made everyone in the place turn to look at him. For me, 10 bowls of pork udon, 5 beef, and if you have katsudon, bring me 8 large portions. And lots of water. The cook blinked several times but nodded and got to work. Minutes later, a mountain of food began to pile up in front of Goku, who devoured each dish at astonishing speed. Saitama ate calmly, while Genos stood beside him, motionless like a statue. By the way, Saitama, yesterday a lady asked me what my hero name was. There are a lot of them here, right? How does all this work? Saitama shrugged after slurping his noodles. No idea. I'm just a hero for fun. When I see a monster, I hit it. The end. Genos, however, leaned forward, taking the floor with his usual seriousness. If I may, I can explain. In this world, the appearance of mysterious beings, or kaijin, is common. To combat them, a billionaire, after someone saved his son, founded the Hero Association. It's an organization that manages, classifies, and deploys registered heroes to protect civilians. Goku swallowed an entire bowl of noodles before answering. Association? And do they pay you for that? Yes. Heroes receive a salary according to their rank. The association classifies them into 4 classes. Class C, the lowest, Class B, Class A, and the elite, Class S. Your rank is determined by your results on a physical exam and a written one. If you're not registered with the association, your deeds, however heroic, are not officially recognized. To the public, being an unregistered hero is practically useless. Goku nodded, thoughtful. Wow, so there's a system. And are there strong people in that Class S? They're supposed to be the most powerful of humanity, capable of facing demon-level or even dragon-level threats, those that can destroy multiple cities. Saitama, who had been listening disinterestedly, seemed to perk up a little. Sounds interesting. Maybe I should register. Genos stared at Saitama and then at Goku. He straightened and bowed in a perfect bow. Master Saitama, Mr. Goku, I've witnessed your overwhelming power. Master Saitama possesses a strength that breaks all known limits. And you, Mr. Goku, possess technique and speed that transcend conventional combat. I beg you, with the utmost humility, to accept me as a disciple of you both. Saitama nearly choked on his broth. Huh? Of both of us? Goku grinned broadly. Sure, I've got no problem with that, though I'm not sure I have much to teach. What a pain. Do what you want, but don't expect me to teach you anything special. My training is pretty simple. Genos lifted his head, a determined gleam in his eyes. Thank you, masters. My goal is to become stronger so I can find and destroy the cyborg who annihilated my city and my family. Learning from both of you is the most logical path to achieve my aim. I propose that tomorrow the 3 of us go register with the Hero Association. Awesome! Sounds fun! Well, I guess I don't have anything better to do. They finished eating, or rather, Goku finished emptying the restaurant's kitchen and stepped outside. The sun was starting to dip toward the horizon. Hey, I don't have anywhere to go. Do you know a place where I could stay until I figure out how to get back to my world? Saitama made a pained face. Don't look at me. My apartment is tiny. Genos stepped forward, pulling out a metal briefcase Goku hadn't seen before. He opened it, revealing bundles of bills perfectly arranged. Master Saitama, if you allow us to stay at your place, I will cover all expenses. I'll pay the rent, the bills, and any other needs you have. Please consider this sum in advance. Saitama looked at the money. His eyes, normally bored, gleamed for an instant. His resistance crumbled completely. Alright, but no loud parties. The next morning, peace in Saitama's small apartment was abruptly shattered. A crash made the entire building tremble, and the living room ceiling caved in, filling the place with dust and debris. Saitama rose from his futon with a vein throbbing on his bald forehead. My roof! I just cleaned it! Through the hole descended a humanoid figure with the look of a praying mantis and another shaped like a giant mole. Greetings, specimen. We have come on behalf of the House of Evolution to... He couldn't finish the sentence. A yellow blur flashed past him and his head flew off. The mole, seeing his partner fall, tried to burrow away, but Saitama's fish smashed him into the floor. Now I'll have to put up plastic. Damn it. At that moment, a larger metallic figure appeared. A cyborg with a gorilla's body. At the same time, from outside came the roar of a beast, and a creature with a mane and sharp claws. The Beast King arrived. Genos stepped between the cyborg and Saitama. Master, I'll handle this one. Goku, who had woken up from the noise and was stretching, yawned and looked at the Beast King. Hey, that's not very polite. Insolent wretch! I am the second strongest of the House of Evolution. Behold my lion claws! The Beast King lunged forward, sweeping his claws in a deadly arc called Lion Slash. The blades cut through the air at incredible speed. Without moving from his spot, Goku raised 2 fingers and caught the monster's claws just before they reached his face. The Beast King froze, eyes wide. He couldn't move his arm. Your claws aren't very sharp. With a light twist of his wrist, Goku redirected the attack and gave him a little flick with his index finger on the forehead. The Beast King shot backward, punched through the apartment's remaining wall, and landed unconscious in the street. Meanwhile, Genos traded blows with the cyborg gorilla. It was a more even fight. Metal clashed on metal, and sparks flew everywhere. Genos activated his incinerators, forcing the gorilla to retreat. "Your technology is impressive, but you can't surpass mine." The gorilla caught sight of his fallen companions, and the Beast King defeated with a single touch. Panic seized him. Genos took advantage of his distraction and tore off an arm. The cyborg dropped to his knees, defeated. "Talk. What is the House of Evolution, and why are you attacking us?" "I won't say anything. Dr. Genos will annihilate me." Saitama approached with a dark look. "You're going to talk, or I'll hit you really hard. I'm not in the mood." The cyborg gorilla broke. He told them everything about Dr. Genos, a brilliant scientist obsessed with artificial evolution, and a secret laboratory on the city's outskirts. "A mad scientist, huh? Sounds fun. Let's go." The House of Evolution building was an imposing, windowless tower. Genos didn't beat around the bush. He aimed both arms and fired an incineration beam that blew the top 7 floors off the structure. "Hey, you went a little overboard. The entrance was downstairs." They descended through the huge hole to an underground lab. In a control room, a white-haired scientist-looking man, Dr. Genos, watched everything on his monitors, cold sweat on his brow. "Impossible. They destroyed my elite squad in seconds. The data from the Mosquito Girl incident shows the Baldy was an anomaly, but this other one, the spiky-haired one, I have no data on him. He defeated the Beast King effortlessly." One of his clones spoke to him. "Doctor, they're on the lower level. They're approaching." "No choice. Release our masterpiece. Release Asura Kabuto. Have him capture both alive. I must study their bodies." An alarm blared and a reinforced steel door opened in the corridor where Goku, Saitama, and Genos were advancing. Out of the darkness came an immense figure, a kaijin shaped like a chocolate-colored Hercules beetle, with an expression of pure madness. "So you're the ones who bothered the doctor. You look really boring." Without warning, he moved. He was a blur of speed and power. He went straight for Saitama, but before his fist landed, Goku stepped in and stopped the blow with the palm of his hand. A shockwave rippled down the corridor, cracking the walls. Asura Kabuto stepped back, surprised. Well, you stopped my punch. How interesting." Goku smiled, feeling the raw force behind the attack. "That was a good hit. You're pretty strong." "Strong? You haven't seen anything! Follow me! Let's fight somewhere more appropriate!" He led them to a huge, white, empty cubic room, the combat testing chamber. "Stopping that punch was pure luck! Now I'll teach you what despair is!" He launched himself at Goku, and the two began exchanging blows at a speed Genos could barely register. There were trails of light and sound, impacts that echoed through the entire facility. Saitama watched from a corner, arms crossed. A strange sensation ran through his body. It wasn't boredom, it was anticipation. Dr. Genos couldn't believe it. "He's keeping up with Kabuto! Impossible! Kabuto is the pinnacle of artificial evolution! Where did this man come from?" Kabuto, frustrated, stepped back. "You're holding back! I can feel it! You're not taking this seriously! Fight for real!" Kabuto's body began to swell. His shell darkened, more horns sprouted, and his eyes turned blood red. His whole body radiated a threatening purple aura. "Asura mode!" "Kabuto, no! In that state you lose control! You'll be out of control for a whole week!" "Shut up! When I'm like this, nothing can stop me!" Goku looked at him and his smile widened, an excitement he hadn't felt since the Tournament of Power began coursing through his veins. "So that's all your power? Great! Then I'll get a little serious too!" He clenched his fist at his sides, and a golden aura exploded around him. The floor shook, and his black hair spiked up, dyeing itself a brilliant blonde. His eyes turned turquoise. He had transformed into a Super Saiyan. The pressure in the room became overwhelming. Genos felt his energy sensors overload and pop. Saitama, for the first time in a long while, opened his eyes wide. He couldn't feel ki, but he could feel the sheer power, the crushing force radiating from Goku. What is this? Goku charged Kabuto again. Now the fight was completely one-sided. Goku dodged every frantic Asura mode blow with ease, almost dancing around him. Kabuto, enraged, began throwing non-stop punches, carving craters into the walls and floor with every miss. Finally, Goku got tired of the game. You're strong, but I'm hungry again. Let's finish this already. He stopped, brought his hands to his side, and began concentrating energy between them. A small blue sphere appeared and grew rapidly. Kame! Hame! Asura Kabuto, sensing mortal danger for the first time in his life, tried to stop him, but it was too late. Ha! A massive torrent of blue energy blasted from his hands and completely engulfed Asura Kabuto. The monster had time only for a choked scream before being utterly disintegrated. The beam continued, pierced the laboratory's back wall, and shot on until it vanished into the sky. The room fell silent, an enormous smoking hole left in the wall. Dr. Genos dropped to his knees, trembling. My most powerful creation disintegrated. I've been wrong all along. True human evolution is not something I can create. I abandon my experiments. Genos looked at Goku with a mix of awe and reverence. Saitama, however, wore an expression no one had seen on him before. A small, almost imperceptible, but genuine smile. Hey, Goku, that was incredible. He stepped up to the hole in the wall and widened it a bit more with a single casual punch so they could pass through comfortably. Let's go home. As they walked back under the orange evening sky, Genos broke the silence. Masters, sorry to interrupt, but my sensors indicate it's 6 p.m. The supermarket specials end in 30 minutes. Saitama's expression shifted from excitement to total despair. What? I thought today was my Saturday! Quick, or we'll miss the discounted meat! The three heroes, two of incalculable power and one loyal cyborg, bolted at full speed toward the supermarket, leaving behind the smoldering ruin of the House of Evolution. That night, as they ate a delicious stew, they prepared themselves mentally. Tomorrow would be the day they faced their next great challenge, the Hero Association entrance tests.